Okay, I'm going to start now. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to RadioSilentPlay.com. I am your moderator for today on Sunday, December 27th, 2015. Let me start off by saying I am not a financial advisor. Please do your own due diligence before trading any stock or options. Trading stocks or options requires lots of risk. Okay, I just want to tell everyone happy holidays. We're heading into a new year 2016, and this week I just want everybody to be aware we are going to have a light volume week. Okay, and we're heading into tax season, and it's very important that we speak about this because during this time you're going to see a lot of traders just in general either not trade or just sell for losses. And the reason they do that is usually on their taxes they take a loss or they write off a loss, and this helps them not have to pay as much taxes. If necessary, they could write off losses, and it doesn't necessarily have to do with whether a trader is successful or not. Sometimes their income, it helps out their income if they write out a loss because I'm not a tax preparer or an accountant, but you're able to deduct that from your earnings at the end of the year. So this is something that a lot of traders do. It's just it's part of the game. So I just want traders to kind of understand this sentiment, okay, in the sense that we will have low liquidity, but at the same time, you may have traders in either markets, whether it be small caps, whether it be in the big boards or the OTCs. I want traders to be very patient, and we're heading into a new year. At the same time, we don't want to get too overzealous buying stock. Okay, there will be scenarios where you'll stop out of a trade. Just ensure you have your stops. Okay, any questions on anything that I've covered based on this 4-day week heading into 2016? We are aware that we do have a New Year's day on Friday, and we have a New Year's Eve on Thursday. So I believe that the New Year's Eve, they'll close the markets same as Christmas Eve at 1 p.m. Okay, so I'm not sure about that. I mean, if somebody wants to check, they can actually go ahead and check. But I'm going to go over a couple of things in the markets that I want traders to kind of understand where we're at. Okay. Um, okay, so we got RSP heading into 2016. Now we got pretty much about 6 years under our belts. Okay, overall, because of you guys, we've been successful. So I'm going to move on. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to talk about the markets. As we know, okay, we had the Federal Reserve 0.25% raised interest rates. So this is not something drastic that many people are, it's outright gonna just pretty much plummet the market. This was already baked into the cake, but it's really nothing. Okay, the markets or the interest rates were artificially low already from 0 to 0.25%. So that's 2.25 cents on the dollar. I mean, it's not much. Okay, it's pretty much a small change. It's not nothing drastic, but they make it seem like it's drastic. Okay, so I want traders to kind of understand that concept because what we're going to pay attention to is something very important, and the transports pretty much tells you what the growth, okay, is what kind of growth we're having in the U.S. Okay, if you notice here, okay, we've been chopping around here on the transports. Okay, transports are anything like you got FedEx, you got the UPS, pretty much major transportations. And when you have the transports doing bad, that pretty much is a signal of the markets not being where they're supposed to be, or kind of impacting the markets on the downside. So I'm not saying to fall in love with the downside, but at the same time, we want to take into consideration that the transports are trading in a bear flag right now. Okay, if you notice here, okay, you have a huge drop in the transports, and right now you're seeing a little bit of a bounce, basically a dead cat bounce. Now we're heading into pretty much this 21-day moving average, and we may see a kiss, but if this market breaks below that 7,500 level, we're going to see the market kind of break down. So I want traders to kind of keep that transport chart in your scanner. I want you guys to kind of monitor it, because if this thing breaks lower, if you see this market kind of close below here, it's going to kind of start heading south, right? So I want traders to kind of understand that. And if it does, that's going to impact the markets on the downside. Okay. Another thing that we want to kind of watch is the TLT. Okay. If they're raising interest rates, what happens? Usually that constitutes a stronger dollar. When it's a stronger dollar, the TLT will start trading higher. Okay. If you notice here, okay, we had a high here at 127, and now we're trading close to that 21 and 8-day moving average. If we get above this, I wouldn't be surprised for this to kind of test this 127 level. Okay, so this is another chart that I want you guys to kind of put down or pencil in, is the TLT, and this is the 20-year Treasury bonds. Okay, so with interest rates, okay, going higher, what happens is the dollar gets stronger. Okay, so if you look at the UUP now, okay, the UUP is pretty much on a weekly chart, is pretty much trading in a nice pretty much bullish flag here. Okay, you see this big move here, and we got this flag pattern here setting up. Okay, we're trading above the 21 and 8-day moving average here on the UUP. So what we're looking for is a potential breakout to the move higher. If you start seeing the dollar rally, it's going to put some pressure on commodities. Even though we're seeing some strength in oil, gas, and also gold and silver, it's not prudent. It's not really strong, because there's a lot of volatility here in the gold market right now. Yes, we are trading above that 21 and 8-day moving average, but if you notice, we put in a new low here. Okay, and we're trading in a bear flag here. So this is things that I want traders to kind of understand now. Okay, the GLD is a little bit volatile. I know I put out a trade here for that support at that 103 level, and we actually broke down, and it saw a move lower. Now what we're seeing is pretty much a dead cat bounce here on the GLD. I'm not buying any pullbacks here, because I just think that we could see a little bit more lower prices in gold and silver. So I just want traders to kind of understand that concept. Another thing is the SPY right now. We're seeing this potential gap fill. Remember, every time, okay, in any ETF, you'll always see this gap fill. And if you notice here, okay, we tested this 199 level. We didn't confirm below it. But what I'm noticing now, we're heading into this cluster here. Okay, so this 210 level, okay, this 210 level is going to be an area of resistance here. Okay, this is a cluster here where you have to keep an eye on that 210, 212 level. Okay, ultimately, I do think that we'll see some sell pressure into the markets heading into the new year. Why? Because of tax purposes. So I want traders to kind of understand that concept. Okay, I'm going to move over to JPM. This is what I call a barometer of what the markets are doing. The JPM is trading above this 21 and 8-day moving average, but at the same time, okay, watch for it to close or confirm below this level. If it does, we're going to see a move lower. And JP Morgan is usually the barometer of what the markets do. So if you see a breakdown in the JP Morgan, okay, you will likely see some selling pressure into the markets. Okay, so this is something that I want you guys to kind of keep an eye on. We're going to keep an eye on the transports. We're going to keep an eye on the UUP, okay, which is the US dollar. We're going to keep an eye on the JP Morgan. Okay, that 64 level is key. Okay, another one I want you guys to kind of keep an eye on is that TLT, right? That's that 20-year Treasury. Okay, I want you guys to kind of keep an eye on this, and if we start seeing some strength into the TLTs, okay, watch out with markets. All right, you are what I'm seeing here is you are in an uptrend here on the TLTs on the 20-year treasuries. All right. What you want to keep an eye on is that break of this level here, that 123.63 level. If it does, I would not be surprised for us to kind of test this 127 level and maybe potentially move higher. Okay, if you notice here, okay, you're seeing a nice bounce on the TLT. Okay, so these are things that I want traders to kind of understand. All right, now I'm going to move on to, I'm going to be going a little bit all over the places because I started doing something a little bit different. On the weekly market report, what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to update a trading journal. Okay, it's pretty much going to be a trading journal of the setups that we have. I'm going to have some small caps on there. I'm going to have some OTCs. This week, I just posted some OTCs. So what it's going to pretty much do, it's going to recap some of our trades where we triggered, pretty much the dates. We're going to talk about the moves that it did, whether it was a move 1, move 2, and then I'll post some remarks. Okay, I will do this with pretty much all markets. Okay, I'm going to do this with the small caps, with the options. I just started out with the OTCs this week. Okay, it has been a little slower, even though we've had some good plays in the options as well. I know some of you guys, you know, it was a little bit tough towards the end of the year. We were looking for bounces in the commodities, and we didn't get that. So I just want traders to kind of be patient and also abide by their parameters. This is very important heading on to next year. All right, I want traders to kind of, I'm kind of cleaning up the format. I'm actually setting up the options a little bit different, and I'm going to go through that a little later on. This is going to be found also in the mobile app. Okay, so I'm just recapping some of the things. I'm not going to go over what's going on here, but if you guys want, I'll go over it. But so I'm going to post pretty much the setups that we've triggered. Stops, if we end up stopping out, I'll explain why we stopped out. It's going to be pretty much a journal, and it's going to be updated. I'm going to try doing it every weekend. Okay, so just look forward to that. I will be posting this for free members. So this will entice our networking skills and trying to get new members to kind of jump on board and see what we're doing here. Okay. Another thing that I'm planning to do is heading into 2016, I'm not going to post buy zones for free members anymore. Okay, I'm going to post these charts, but it's not going to be with buy zones, and we're not going to post pretty much. That's going to be up to or left for premiums. Okay, so this is something that I want to kind of do, so they're not saying that we're preloading or we're doing anything of that nature. It's pretty much, we're looking at these stocks, and we're looking at probability zones, why we're getting into these stocks, and so forth. Okay, so I'm going to go over the option setups right now. I know we went over. I don't want traders to go too deep in these options right now. And why do I say that? Because Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, okay, we're going to take some, we're going to lose some days. Okay, this is very important because we're talking about time decay on these options. Nonetheless, okay, some of these options triggered from the week before. We talked about KMI. Okay, I talked about that 16 to 17 level. Well, it hit an entry from 15 to 16 with a low of 14.22. Okay, this was a beautiful trade if you kind of followed the June 17, 16 calls. Okay, June 17, 2016 calls for strike 20. I talked about the 40 to 70 range, and these things actually triggered at 55 and 60 cents. Okay, I did not send that out, but at the same time, it did trigger. Okay, what I'm going to start doing now is I'm going to set targets, okay, price targets. And also what I'm going to do is I'm going to place, okay, the price where I trigger. Okay, I actually triggered this at 55 and 69 cents. And I bought as low as 55 to 60 cents. My target on these is going to be target 1 of $2. I put a target 2 of $2, I guess, again, and a potential of $4. Okay, these are for June 17, 2016 calls. Okay, strike $20. So what you can start doing is accumulating somewhere around this range. Okay, what we notice here is we're kind of seeing a little bit of a bottom. What we're looking for is that rounded bottom. Okay, a key break will be the $17.50 range. If we can close above $17.50 on 2 consecutive closes, my next target is going to be $20. Okay, so I want traders to kind of keep an eye on the KMI. It's still in play. Okay, next ticker symbol is Mattel Inc., ticker symbol MAT. Okay, we're looking at this potential top, okay, of this trend line. What we're seeing here is the line of symmetry. Okay, every time it kind of kisses that top level, it kind of pulls back. So what we're looking for on the Mattel, okay, is a potential target of 27, which is that 8-day moving average, and then that potential move down to that 26 level, okay, which is that 21-day moving average. Okay, so we have that 21 and 8-day moving average that we're going to play off of. Watch for that kiss of that $28 range before you start getting in on this. I'm looking for that 28 to 30 range, a kiss maybe potentially of $30 if it goes up on high volume or on low volume. I'm sorry. If it closes below this this red line here at 27, okay, then you guys can start looking to kind of take a position as well if you confirm below 27 on 2 consecutive closes, or if it closes below 26 on 2 consecutive closes. Because if you do close below 26, you don't have support till about $23.50. Okay, so this is something I want traders to kind of look at. That Mattel, if I get in, I'm looking at the February contracts. February 19, 2016 puts, we're looking at strike 26, and I think they're at 49 cents right now, or 55 cents. So look for that 20 to 40 range. Okay, my target 1 is going to be 60 cents. Target 2 is going to be 80 cents, and a potential is going to be $1. My stop close, I posted here, close below 20. Okay, 20 cents. There is a little bit more risk in these option trades, so I want traders to kind of understand that. But we do have liquidity. Those that are playing with options usually understand the risk and understand the liquidity issues. Okay, so if it does close below 20 cents, then we're going to look to stop out. Okay, the next ticker symbol is the USO. I do like the USO over here. I do notice that we're in what you call a line of symmetry pattern. Okay, line of symmetry pattern is basically 2 parallel lines that connect points or support levels and then kind of test pivot levels at or near the upper trend line. These lines do not mix. Okay, when they don't mix, I like buying somewhere near these lows. Okay, or kisses of these levels. So I'm looking for that $10.50 to $11 range. Okay, I'm gonna stay tight and I'm gonna keep my stop close below $9. Okay, that's a probability range of 10%. But at the same time, you have to take into consideration that you are trading an option. Okay, so I'm looking at the March 18, 2016 calls for strike $11. Currently, they're $1.09. So I'm looking at an entry between 50 cents and 90 cents. Okay, you want to kind of scale in. Since they are for March, you have a long time to kind of accumulate contracts. Our target 1 is going to be 30% from that 90-cent range, or 40%. And then our target 2 is going to be $1.60. My potential move here would be to sell these contracts at $2 to $2.50. I'm going to place my stop close below 45 cents here. Okay, it is an ETF, so sometimes these markets do open and gap down. So I want traders to kind of understand that sentiment. Okay, I will go over the UNG now. Okay, this is an ETF for the natural gas fund that we actually picked up here from $6 to $7. We actually added these at 64 cents. Well, I did at 64 cents. It's doing pretty well. If you notice here, we're trading above that 8-day moving average now. We're looking for that 2nd-day confirmation. We got it. Now we're looking for that close above $7.90 on the UNG. Gas is a little stronger now. Okay, what we're seeing is we're seeing a little bit of a reversal here. What we want to see is a confirmation close above that $7.90. If we do, our next target is going to be that $8.40 and then a potential test of that $9 range. So we still are in that trade. Okay, the next ticker symbol is FCX. We're heading into some resistance here. Okay, this is that this resistance here at $7.70. If we clear that $7.70, okay, we could test that $8 and $9 range. But right now, we need to confirm above that level. Okay. This is a nice trade off that $6 range. So if you are in the money, I want you guys to start taking profits at or near ranges. Okay, we may see oil and FCX kind of pull back. Freeport McMoran is pretty much copper. Okay, so I want traders to kind of keep an eye on the FCX heading into next week. Okay, it does move with oil. Okay, the next one is the SWN. We talked about the kiss of that $7 level, and we actually saw a low of $5. Now it's bouncing. Okay, what we want to see is a clear confirmation close above this gap fill, $7.50. If we do get it, I wouldn't be surprised for us to test that $8.30 range. Okay, here on the FCX, you can actually add on the pullbacks down to 665. So on the FCX, you can add to 665. So if you want to pencil that in, pencil that 665 level. For the SWN, okay, I'm looking for a re-entry here on the SWN at that $5.90 range. Okay, so right now what we're seeing is you're seeing this 8-day moving average moving up to that 21-day moving average. So we may start seeing some consolidation here and some follow through. Okay, you may see a pullback, but if it does pull back to $5.90, it's a buy. So you can add more shares there. Okay, that's pretty much it. If you want to kind of trade the smaller cap, look at the UWTI right now. The UWTI right now close confirmation above that 399 level. This is another one that's kind of seeing that rounded bottom. So you're seeing some oil plays kind of start following through and bouncing here. Okay, I talked about the dividend paying stocks, and I talked about seasonality charts on the oil and dividend paying stocks. If you guys want that PDF, just send me an email. I know I did a webinar on it. I do have a PDF on it, and we talk about how much the dividends are. I know some of them kind of cleared that those dividends. I have to check again, and I have to make sure. I think one of the stocks kind of took their dividend off, so I'll check it tonight. If you need that email, just send me an email stating that you want those dividend paying stocks. It's always good to kind of hedge, okay, from OTC winnings or small cap winnings or option winnings and throw it into something more tangible. A stock like BP is giving you a 6.7% dividend. Okay, after 6 months to a year, they give you a dividend. So they're giving you shares for owning the stock longer term. So that's the way they reward you. So these are some certain things that we kind of want to kind of keep an eye on. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the options. Okay, I know we have more OTC traders, but those are the options. Any questions on any options? Just be sure to kind of be patient on the options, especially this week. Okay, I want traders to kind of be patient because we are losing a couple of days, and I don't want you guys to kind of open those contracts lower into Monday. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Okay, the next, I'm going to go over a couple of small caps. A couple of small caps really quick. Some of them triggered. You've been seeing a lot more traders trading these NASDAQ stocks, these Amex stocks, and these smaller cap stocks. And CMLS is one of them. Okay, this actually triggered on November 23rd, and it gave us an entry at $18.50. Okay, this actually triggered, and now we're trading at 32 cents. Okay, we talked about target 35. Okay, it actually hit that level. So traders that actually bought this at 18.50, okay, had a nice move and traded that higher. What I'm looking for now is a box consolidation and a potential break of this previous high, 50 cents. If you close above that 50 cents on 2 consecutive closes, okay, we could test that 74 level. So I want traders to kind of keep an eye on that. If it does happen to pull back, okay, watch that 20 to 25 cent range, and we'll place our stop close below 15 cents. Okay, so this is something that I want kind of traders to kind of keep an eye on. The CMLS did trade, and this was kind of sent out in November. I believe it was like November 15th that it was sent out. A new low and a bottom bounce was the IPI. We talked about the IPI. We were looking at, I believe it was like the 380 range before, but it actually headed lower and it hit a low of 262. It actually closed below our stop, which was $2.80 on 2 consecutive closes. I'm looking at this again. It did hit a low of $2.62 for the week, and we actually closed near the highs at $3.50. So now watch that round the bottom here for the IPI. That's Intrepid Potash. Okay, our target potential here is about $4. Okay, ultimately, I wouldn't be surprised for this to kind of start testing that $5 range again. Okay, so you have anywhere from 30 to 50% move potential, maybe even 100% from these lows. So I want traders to kind of keep an eye on the IPI. So this is the new low and a bottom bounce. You do have a pincher here for me. Okay, next ticker symbol is a probability and pincher. Okay, we're talking about the PLG. This is Platinum Group Metals Inc. Okay, we're looking at that probability trade from 10 to 13 cents. Our target potential here would be 16 cents. Okay, which is that that move to that 21-day moving average, excuse me. And if we do close above that 17 level, okay, I wouldn't be surprised if we get up to this channel here at 22 to about 26 cents. Just simply place your stop close below 9 cents, just like how you would play an OTC. It's pretty much a probability trade. I think this is going to be a good trade here for the PLG. You are in a pincher play as well. Okay, watch that round the bottom. Okay, next ticker symbol is ticker symbol RAS. Okay, I talked about this last week. We were looking for a little bit cheaper. We were looking at that 244 level. We never got it, but now we're setting up a little bit of a pennant flag pattern here. Okay, so watch that $2.60 to $2.70 range. Our target potential is going to be $2.80. Okay, target 2 of $3 and a potential of $3.40. You got a huge gap here to get filled at $4. Okay, you had a considerable drop here, and now what we're noticing is that we're bouncing here. So keep an eye on the Ray Financial Trust. Okay, that's ticker symbol RAS. Okay, next ticker symbol is an oil play. I think that this isn't ready yet, but this is one that I want traders to kind of keep a look or keep an eye on. It reminds me a lot of that BVAP trade. Okay, keep an eye on this stock. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised for this to go 50% retrace from this previous low at 29 cents. So 29 cents, I break that in half. I'm looking at that 12 to 15 on 50 to 61.8% retrace level. Okay, simply put your stop close below 10 cents on 2 consecutive closes. If you get in at 15, you want to keep that a little bit higher, you can do so. You can leave it at 12 cents below. It just depends on where you want to add this. But this could kind of move lower. We are in a line of symmetry pattern here. We are in a considerable downtrend, so this could break lower, but just watch that probability level there at that 12 to 15 cent range. Okay, next ticker symbol is what I call a mini bull flag. Okay, you're seeing a bounce here and a potential accumulation. You got some support here at that 18 level. So I want traders to kind of keep an eye on the HK. That's Halcon Resources. Okay, watch that 18 to 25 buy zone. Okay, if you want to add somewhere near this range and you want to keep a tighter stop, you can. What I'm looking for is a potential move or a kiss of that 20 level. If we do, I'm going to take target at 30 cents to about 53 cents. Okay, so ultimately, you could see that retrace back to that 54-cent level. Okay, I want to make sure that everybody can hear me because I don't know if this this mic is working too good. I'm trying out these new headsets. Okay. Moving forward, we did see a nice move on the PER. This was mentioned by one of our traders in the room. Let me see if I got that chart. You had a nice bounce on the PER, just a beautiful move. Now you're going to see this test of that $3 range. Just a beautiful move. You got a 2-bar surge here on the PER. What you want to use is basically your fib retrace levels if you didn't manage to get in. Okay, you want to keep an eye on this low here and that potential top. What you want to see is maybe some consolidation back to that that 8-day moving average. So keep an eye on that this level here at $2.29. If it does kiss that level, $2.29, Okay, could be a re-entry for some consolidation and then a potential move higher. So I want traders to keep an eye on the PER. Just a beautiful trade, Sandridge. Anna mentioned I did post it on the weekly watch list a week ago, and it actually triggered. So that was a good buy zone here for the PER. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the small caps. Any questions on the small caps? Any questions on the small caps? Okay, our Ray Borden says your mic works. Okay, beautiful. So I'm gonna move on to the OTCs. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to the OTCs now. Okay, the OTCs have brought considerable moves. We saw a move on ticker symbol TINO. We saw the AX continue to move higher. It's just a beautiful move off that 12 to 15 buy zone. It was a ×2 rinse and repeat. It gave us an opportunity to add between 12 and 15, hit a high of 22, pulled back to 13, 14 buy zones. Then it hit a high of 22 again, and now we're trading at 20, 21 levels with some support at 17. So that was just a beautiful move, and I do think that stock can continue. Okay, I know a couple of people on social media were saying that the stock was garbage. We don't care whether the stock is garbage. Pretty much OTCs, they're all high risk. I'm not going to go out and blatantly say they're all garbage, but at the same time, they all have their risk. So I want traders to kind of understand that. The DCAC, the ticker symbol DCAC, Daniel's Corporate Advisory. This is a stock that I'm posting on maybe for the third time. It's been a good trade, I believe, for us traders. It gave us a couple of opportunities to kind of trade several times. It's been an ATM machine, but now I think it's posted in a beautiful rounded bottom. I think this is one of the strongest charts out there. Okay, there are a lot of traders that are kind of looking at this stock on social media. So that move one was that 11 to 19. Even before that, you had this move here from 14 to about 40, and then you had that kind of pullback, and you were seeing this stock just being a tradable stock. It is a low share structure stock, and now you're seeing that bottom. So most of the guys that were trying to buy it from that 10 to 13 buy zone, I don't think that it's going to kind of pull back there. But if you do manage to buy it at that range, I think it's a good buy. What we're looking for is a confirmation close above this 8-day moving average. Is that 0.0016 level. Watch that level 2 support. If you see a huge bid at 14.15, I think that 16 will be a good buy zone. We have upside up to that 0.003 level to maybe even a potential move from 0.005 to 0.01. So there's a lot of upside to this trade. Okay, so what I would look at is that 12 to 15 buy zone. Again, this is just something that I want traders to kind of look at as a reference. But if you see a huge bid support here at that 14, 15, 16 level, okay, buying at that 16, 17 level with a stop close below 15 wouldn't be a bad idea as well. Okay, because if it hits a high of 0.003, you're talking about 100% move from that entry. Okay, so my remarks is it's a pincher play that's setting up around the bottom. A reversal if the stock breaks above 28 on 2 consecutive closes. Remember that magic number of 2. We want stocks to break above these levels on 2 consecutive closes to confirm that pivot as new support. So I want traders to kind of understand that. If you're not in that buy zone and the stock breaks pivot, then that becomes your new support. Okay, if it does close above 28 on 2 consecutive closes, it could very well see that 0.005 to 0.01. It's a potential solid risk reward ratio. Okay, so I want traders to understand this new setup and layout on the OTC weekly watch list, because this is something that I'm kind of start doing. I'm going to start doing is the potential moves that it had in the week. Okay, I'm going to start posting pretty much my sentiments or remarks on the stock, why I like the stock. Okay, and then on Sunday nights, I'm going to recap it, why I like it. Okay, so this is a stock that I like for a move. And if we look here on, let's go to pinksheets.com. Okay, we're going to look at the share structure. This is a very important aspect of trading. Okay, it is OTCQB. This is probably one of the biggest tiers or the strongest tiers, safest tiers in the OTCs. That's a plus. Okay, if you look here, we're looking at authorized shares, only 750 million. shares of authorized shares that the company can put out in the open market. That's November 10, 2015. We're in December, so it's pretty updated. Our outstanding shares are just 65 million as of November 10, 2015, and our flow is just 32 million. Okay, that shows me that there's not many shares on the market. And if you notice, okay, the move, it's actually kind of like really taking a hit since the highs here at that 0.04 to 0.05 levels. This is a stock that used to trade at 4 to 5 cents. Okay, so if you're buying somewhere around this round the bottom, okay, you're talking about big upside. You have an RSI of 32. And if you look here, this is a pretty strong pincher play. Okay, so I want traders to kind of understand this concept. You don't necessarily have to fish for bottom now, because now what you're seeing is a confirmation low. Okay, so those traders that were buying from 10 to 11, now they feel confident. They'll hold for the stock to move higher to that 0.003 to 0.005. So I want traders to kind of understand that concept. I know there's a lot of traders that sometimes want to take that quick in and out approach. But when you start finding stocks that used to trade at, let's say, 4 to 5 cents, and you're buying them like a thousand percentage below point, okay, this is a good upside potential. Okay, this is like putting, going to Atlantic City and just putting it on a good horse that you just win a bunch of races, and now he's maybe like 200, 300 to 1. Okay, so I want traders to kind of understand that concept. If you're buying on around the bottom, you have a confirmation bottom. Okay, if you do happen to buy at or near these ranges, just simply place your stop close below this 8-day moving average at 16.15. Okay, any questions on what I'm talking about? Any questions if you understand what I'm trying to mention? Okay, so Bulls makes a valid point. This is what I'm trying to bring to the attention. It's a safe trade because now it's trading above that MA, which is that 8-day moving average. I simply will post or put my stop close below 15 or 14 on 2 consecutive closes because I know that it's posting around the bottom. A lot of people understand that, so they're going to post or place their bids somewhere near those lows, and they're not going to fill. So what you're going to see is traders kind of chase that stock higher, and those that are in at or near buy zones or take on a position can trade it at 100, 200%. This was a stock that was trading at 4 to 5 cents. Okay, and you're seeing the share structure hasn't really changed from November to December. You're talking about November 2015 and a low float. So, the down move was pretty drastic, but at the same time, now I think we may see that around the bottom. I think we have upside on that stock. Next ticker symbol is a 50% retrace that used to have this wasn't found on stock charts, so I posted the profits pie chart. If you notice here, this was pretty much the bottom here at 0.005. If we use the 50 to 61.8% retrace, you're kind of going to test that 25 level. And if you notice, we tested at 20 level. Okay, now what I want traders to kind of look at is that 0.002 master support. If you close below 0.002 on 2 consecutive closes, you can look to stop out, and then your next support is going to be 12 to 15. I want you guys to keep an eye on the level 2. Wherever your biggest bid support is, that's where I want you to kind of like pencil in your buy zone or your entry or your starter. Okay, so the APYP right now, if you notice, we lost that 50%. Okay, from that 0.005 previous master support, and now we're going 50% of 50. That's 25. You kissed that 61.8% retrace, which was 0.002, and it held. Okay, so I want traders to kind of look at that 0.002 support heading into next week. If you see that there's only 100,000 shares at 0.002, then don't force the trade. Then you might want to place your bids anywhere from 12 to 15. Okay, do we understand that concept or that scenario? Because we are into an end of year trading, so I want you guys to be a little cheaper, but I want you guys to kind of focus on that level 2 as well. Yes, we are hitting a 50% retrace on the stock, but at the same time, okay, we want to take other factors into effect because we do know that we are heading into a tax year. We don't know who's buying around this level. And maybe these guys want to take take on some losses. So we want to keep an eye on that level too. For the most part, that 0.002 did look pretty strong, okay, last week. So I want traders to kind of look at that level. Okay, so my remarks is 50% retrace from that previous 52-week massive support was 0.0045. I'm sorry, that was lost. And it kissed the 61.8% retrace on a Fibonacci retracement theory. Okay, now we're seeing that 0.002 support. Okay, so we want to see now either a close below 0.002 on 2 consecutive closes or a close above that pivot price of 0.005, which is its previous support. Now that becomes resistance. So if the stock closes below 0.002 on 2 consecutive closes, it could see 0.0012 to 0.0015 levels. Okay. Any questions on that theology? Any questions on why we're looking at that 0.005 master support broken? Any questions why we're buying at that level? Okay. So Bull says he got it. Any other questions on the 50% retrace theory and how we come up with that rounded number? Okay, this does not work all the time. For the most part, okay, people work on emotion, and a lot of people, what they start doing is once they start seeing a new low, they start selling into the bid. So I want traders to kind of keep that into consideration. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next trade. Okay, this is a probability trade. I was looking at this very, very closely last week. I noticed that it did hit that 11 mark, and then it bounced and hit the high of 0.002. Okay, the very next day it pulled back and it kissed that double bottom. So we're on a double bottom pattern here. Okay, this is a stock, okay, that is a low share structure stock as well. Okay, if you come over here on the WOGI, okay, it does have a yield sign, but you have it with 52-week massive support here at 0.001. Our average volume was 1.8 million, but if you notice here, okay, we had a total volume of 11.125. So you're talking about a 10 times volume here. Okay, so you had a lot of traders buying at that 0.001 to 0.0013 level. So I want traders to kind of keep an eye on that level. Okay, Bulls also posted a Twitter, and they actually have some updates here on Twitter, and I kind of posted the link here. There's a lot of updates here on the WOGI. Okay, so in 2016, WOGI will be seeking legal action against stock manipulators against WOGI. So if they win a case or you start posting news that there's been manipulation, the stock can rally big. Okay, this is a low share structure stock, so this is something that I want traders to kind of keep an eye on it, because if you can buy it at 10 to 13 on a 30% risk factor, okay, this is a stock that can pretty much bounce at any moment. Remember, this is a stock that usually traded from that 0.006 to the high 0.012s. You're talking about 100% volatility from this channel. Now, if you notice, you're setting up a little bit of a bullish inside flag or a mini bull flag, and I'm looking for a consolidation in between this mini bull flag. So we're adding anywhere in between here for a potential breakout. If we close above this pivot, okay, or this 21-day moving average above 24 on 2 consecutive closes, we will test that 0.005 again. Okay, so our potential move here is that 0.004 to 0.008 on a short-term basis. I think with news or updates, this is a low share structure stock that could see a move higher. So I want traders to kind of keep an eye on that sentiment. All right. If you look here on the company profile, you have authorized shares of just 500 million, and this is 2015. Okay, so it is fairly new and updated. Outstanding shares is 290 million, and then you have a float of 101 million. So this is a very, very reasonable share structure for the price right now. Okay, so I want traders to kind of keep an eye on that. If you notice, the last quarterly report was on June 30th, 2015. Okay, so this is an active stock. So I want traders to kind of look at that. If you see a huge bid at 10, 11, then look to grab a starter 12 to 13. Okay, so I want traders to kind of understand that sentiment. There is some fundamentals here. You have them fighting a case about manipulation in 2016. Okay, you have a mini bull flag here, you have a double bottom, and you have a little bit of a pincher setting up here. Okay, so my remarks here, move one was 11 to 21. That's almost a 100% move. Okay, so our remarks here is going to be at probability trades from 0009 to 11. Remember, that didn't hit. Okay, because that support was at 10.11. Has only 20% risk if you're buying at this range. If the stock breaks above 24, I would not be surprised for this to test 0.005 to 0.01 on a channel break. Now, in a bullish inside flag pattern, if the stock breaks on 24 on 2 consecutive closes, then that 24 becomes your support. Any questions? Any questions on the WOG trade? If you notice here, you're seeing accumulation and distribution rising. Okay, so this is another clear signal. As we mentioned, you have a 10 times volume on last week, so you have 10 times the volume. So you got to follow the volume. People are accumulating these lows. Any questions on the WOGI trade? Any questions on the WOGI trade? Okay, no questions. Okay, the next ticker symbol. This is a ticker symbol that reminds me a lot of the AURI trade and a couple of other trades that we saw. They don't have a chart here on the stock charts, but if you notice, this is a stock that used to trade here to 10 to 40 cents. And you're buying this at probability trades right now. Move one was 12 to 19. Okay, not much of a move. Okay, but they did release filings and they posted that they had a 10Q and 82 million in float and 64 million in common stock. So there's not that many shares. Okay, so this is a low share structure stock that should bode well for a move higher. Chart is not found in the www.stockcharts.com. Okay, traders looking to add or are in should request a ticker symbol. So if you get a chance, go on stockcharts.com and request the ticker symbol for the ACTL. I have on several accounts. Okay, what I'm looking at now is that potential entry at 12 to 15. We're at 11. Okay, so I want traders to be cheap. So watch that 10 to 13. But again, we want to accumulate somewhere around this box pattern. If we do end up breaking above this high, okay, of 19 on 2 consecutive closes, we will test that 0.003 level. Okay, so we need 2 confirmation closes above that previous pivot high. Okay, so my pivot is going to be a close above that 35 level after that 19 level. And then our next support, if this thing closes below 11 on 2 consecutive closes, we're looking at that mental support at 8 to 10 level. Okay, so this is a stock that I think is going to be a good move. All these stocks that we posted thus far, okay, have low share structures. Okay, so I want traders to kind of understand that. You have a stock with just 82 million flow, and this 10Q was filed last week or 2 weeks ago. So I don't think that has changed. Okay, next ticker symbol is a bottom accumulation play or a bottom accumulation play. I'm sorry. Okay, ticker symbol BFRE. This is Blue Fire. Okay, renewables. This is a stock that kind of tested this 11 level on a tap. Okay, so 11's barely tapped. Real accumulation was from 0.002 to 2.5 levels. So watch the strongest support and scale in and abide by your stops. So I want traders to kind of look at that 0.002 to 2.5 level. I posted 15 to 25 just in case it has low volume and a low volume pullback. Okay, so I want traders to kind of understand that we're in this accumulation. Last time this thing traded from this level, okay, from that 0.002 level, you had a high of 0.01. Okay, so this stock, if you notice, stocks tend to rinse and repeat, or they're like travelers. When they go to a place and they like it, they usually go back. So I wouldn't be surprised for this thing to kind of consolidate here and then just push higher. Okay, so this is a stock that I want traders to kind of look at. Another stock is the ticker symbol BVAP. This is a stock that kind of pulled back, gave us a move one from 12 to 23. Then it pulled back. It hit a high of low 14 and then hit that 0.002 level. Okay, so we're in this box pattern formation. What I'm looking is for a confirmation close above that pivot of 23 on 2 consecutive closes. If we do close above 23 2 times, we're going to test that 34 level. Okay, and if we do break above that 34 level, I wouldn't be surprised if we test this 54 level again. Okay, so you have some upside here on the BVAP. If we come over here on the ticker symbol BVAP, okay, it is a OTCQB stock. It is in that breed e-cigs or those inhaler type deals that people are using now. It's a big trend. And what I like most about it is the float. If you look at the float, it's only 83 million shares, which is not much. And the stock is pretty much testing lows. So we're looking at this share structure, 83 million from April 14, 2015. So I know some guys traded this stock. Any pullbacks is a re-entry level on the ticker symbol BVAP. I do like the shares. You have only 377 million. I'm going to start looking at stocks that have under a billion shares, authorized shares and outstanding shares. Okay, that kind of helps us with being able to kind of trade the stock higher. Sometimes these bloated stocks, they move higher, but it just takes vast amount of liquidity and money for them to move. Okay, so I want traders to kind of understand share structure. What we want to make sure is that these stocks are trading less than a billion shares, 2 billion shares. Okay, because then they're more favorable for us, especially when we're buying those lows. Okay, so next ticker symbol, I'm going to go over. That's pretty much the setups. I do want to go over the weekly watch list because I want to talk about GNPT. Okay, there was a big scare on the GNPT, and this Monday, okay, we may see a confirmation on the GNPT. So I want traders to kind of understand this. So this has a potential stop on it. If you notice, we had a line of symmetry, but this thing reported that it raised authorized shares to 3 billion. I think it was already baked into the cake. Maybe these guys just knew about it, but they started kind of going through social media, and then we just panicked the very next day. The stock closed at 15 and then opened at 0008, hitting high, I believe, of 11 after that that pullback, that open. So my remarks is it lost that 0.0012 level. Then the 0.001 level broke on that gap down off the filing announced 3 billion AS. Okay, the social media picked it up quickly and the stock opened 50% lower at 0009. It sold low of 8. And then, now the 15 is that previous close. That's going to be major resistance now because a lot of people that bought from 12 to 15 are going to look to sell this stock at that range. I still want traders to kind of look at this because every time it kind of kisses the level, it kind of bounces higher. So I know if we do close above that 10 level tomorrow, okay, I do expect this to kind of pull back and hit a 50% retrace to a potential move down to 5-6. Okay, I know it's scary for some traders, but I want you guys to buy by your stops. Okay, so I don't know if this is going to happen. I don't know if we're going to see people buying this stock, but I want traders to understand that we have a potential stop on this stock. Another stock that I want traders to kind of look at that it may lose some support is the PFSD. Okay, if you notice here, we kind of kissed that 19 level. We hit a low of 16, but then managed to close at 19, but it's fairly weaker. If we do close above that 18 level on 2 consecutive closes, I'm looking at that 12 to 15 buy zone and maybe even a potential kiss at that 10 level. Okay, so I want traders to kind of understand that if you are in. If you kind of look at the RSI, you're seeing that you're seeing this low and a lower low and then a lower low, and we may potentially hit a lower low. Okay, so I want traders to kind of understand that concept. All right, that's pretty much it. I have the DCAC here on the rounded bottom. ACTL was on this. I think I went to the Chicago. Yeah, the axe. I do like the rounded bottom on the axe. We're looking for 2 close confirmations above 21. I know some of you traders are still in the axe. Very much similar to the DCAC, the DCAC. A little bit more shares, but at the same time, this was just a beautiful trade on a ×2 trade. Move 1 was 12 to 22. Move 2 was 13 to 22. Now we're looking for is that potential close above that 22 level. If it does, we'll probably test that 33 level to that 50 level. Okay, so kisses the 22 previous pivot for that second time, and that looks like the continuation above that 21 and 8-day moving average, cross of 17 into that 25 level. Watch that 0.005 range. A very clear around the bottom. Watch that break, then a cup and handle pullback for a cup and handle pattern. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And the Tino is pretty much looking good. There are some shares there, but I want traders that were buying at 0004 to 5. Make sure you lock profit somewhere around these levels. If it does pull back, we're looking at that 7 to 8 on that new support. So I want traders to kind of look at those levels. Okay, any questions on anything that I've covered? Any questions on anything that I've covered? Okay, SCIE. Okay, good question. SCIE. This was a stock that we've traded for a while. Okay, if you notice, we've kind of broken into new lows. Okay, and the accumulation is kind of waning down. Okay, all right. So I want traders to kind of understand that this scenario. Okay, this was a good trade. I mean, this was a trade that gave us a couple of multiple trades. But if you notice here, what did we do? Okay, we managed to close below this level of that 1213 level. Okay, that was some key support. Now we're at mental support, but we're kind of breaking down a little bit right now. Okay, so watch this confirmation close below that 12 to 13 level. If you do close below 12 to 13, we go 50% from that 12 to 13 level. Watch that 7 and 8 support level. Okay, 6, 7, and 8 may be your new bottom accumulation. All right, so if you notice here, okay, you broke down, you consolidated, okay, and now what you potentially can do is staircase a little bit lower. Okay, we are at a pivotal area right now. We are at RSI 33, but at the same time, okay, your accumulation is kind of slowing down a little bit. Okay, if you see this histogram, will this thing kind of start breaking lower? I'm not trying to scare anybody, but I want you guys to kind of practice understanding these mental supports. Okay, once these mental supports start breaking down, people don't want to buy around this range. What they want to do is they want to buy somewhere at a lower range. Okay, if you go over to let's say a weekly chart. Okay, let's look at the weekly. Okay, take a look at the weekly chart. Okay, it still has a little bit more room to kind of press down. Okay, this is something that we will monitor. I think this is a good thing to monitor, but we've kind of broken down a little bit on this pattern. Okay, we've broken this 25 level. Okay, 50% retrace from that 25 level was that pretty much that 12 and a half. And if you notice, we're breaking down now. So could we go 50% retrace from this level? Okay, so I want traders to kind of understand that, especially going into the week, especially this low week. You may see these guys kind of sell into it. If you want to keep your bids in at 6, 7 or something, and want to kind of steal shares, this may be a ticker symbol that you want to kind of like place your bids a little lower. Okay, so again, I'm not bashing the stock, Penny Master. This is a stock that you just never know. You want to kind of look at the level 2. You want to see where your master support, where your biggest bids are at. Okay, and I know that sometimes you start seeing people place fake bids for 3 million shares or 4 million shares, but at the same time, then the very next day they pull them out. Okay, next ticker symbol is the UAMM. This is another one that we kind of want to it's on a profit spy because I think they took it out. But if you notice here, okay, that massive support here at 0005 is key. Okay, but again, we are heading into the new year, and we have sellers, and this is something that we have to consider. I am in the UAMM, and I am holding for a longer term. Okay, but if you want to start placing bids or somewhere cheap, this is the type of stock that can kind of pull back just because people just sell because they want to take losses. So this is, I'm not trying to scare people. Again, I'm not trying to scare people, but this is where your master support is, at that 5-6 level. Okay, you did kiss that 4 level, so I want traders to kind of understand that. Okay, the CYBL, any stock trading below 0005, you can't really look at technically. These are stocks that are trading now at lotto levels. It is in the security sector, and this is the type of stock that maybe eventually will pick up. We saw stocks like TPAC, TPAC, LTNC, stocks with huge authorized shares trade higher. You just never know with these stocks. Sometimes if you want to take a loss, or you want to call your broker and just take it off your portfolio, you can't do that and just take it as a loss. I know some people kind of did that. So if you want to take a loss on the CYBL, you can do so. All right. So these are stocks that I want traders to kind of understand. The lower you're buying these stocks, the more riskier they are. Okay. If you're buying these stocks at triple zeros, you're talking about higher risk, especially if you don't have the liquidity. If you have, like, maybe, let's say, $500, $600, I don't recommend you buying a stock trading below 0005. I just don't. Okay, if you notice, another ticker symbol that's doing pretty well, that bounced off that 000 level, is that that XCLL. We were talking about that 6 to 9 level. Yeah, it did bounce, but it didn't manage to hold. And then we saw low of 0001. Those guys buying the 0001 to 2s ended up closing it 0005. So, I mean, these are stocks that you just never know. And when you stop out, you have to make sure that you stop out. You know, once these stocks kind of start trading below that 0005 level, you're talking about stocks that are now lottos. Okay, and now if you notice that XCLL kind of is trading a little higher now. So if you look at it on the daily chart, okay, the XCLL is kind of bouncing. I don't know if anybody's still holding that stock, but it didn't manage to kind of put in a bottom. And I don't know if there's groups that are trading in it, but if you notice here, okay, you have a parallel channel, and you're right at this. You're right at that resistance level here at 0005. So if this thing closes above 0005 on 2 consecutive closes, it could maybe test that 10 level. So this is something that traders want to kind of look at. If you want to trade these high risk lottos, you can start looking at the XCLL. Okay, any other questions on any other stocks that we want to go over, review? I'm not posting too many because I want us to kind of focus on the weekly watch list this week. If I do see anything else, it will be sent out via mobile app or RSP Premium Twitter. If you don't have the app, I recommend that you download the app. Just go on iTunes, search Radio Silent Play, okay, on iTunes, or Radio Silent Play on Google Play, okay? So now that's pretty much it for the charts. Now I'm going to go over something a little bit more important, and Bulls is mentioning it now, is networks. Okay, networking is extremely important, especially moving on forward. I think in 2016, I want traders to start taking their networking into a little bit more advanced, more broader, and paying attention. As much as you pay attention to charts, I want you guys to start paying attention to networking, putting this information out there. Okay, just in the room alone, okay, we have I'm gonna say anywhere from 60 to 80 members on the chat room. Okay, with that alone, okay, if you have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, blogs, iHubs, other investor forums, we can start posting these stocks. What I want traders to kind of start doing is starting to build their names. Start building your following. Twitter is a very important aspect of trading. Networking is a very important aspect of trading. I know a lot of you guys happen to be part of different groups. I'm not necessarily saying for you guys to put our names out to Radio Silent Play in those rooms. I actually recommend that you don't. But at the same time, you guys want to start posting viable information, whether it's share structure, news, whether it's a key break or a certain aspect or key levels or key patterns. I want you guys to start posting that on your social media. Um, Try not to retweet that much, okay? Because then what happens is they kind of put two and two together and they start saying, wait a minute, this guy happens to be part of Radio Silent Play. There's a lot of bashers out there. Okay, there's a lot of people that want to discredit Radio Silent Play as a tool or as a educational newsletter. Okay, we're more than just a newsletter. Okay, we're not something that kind of puts out tickers and then we expect them to go 50 to 1,000%. Okay, that's not what we do. We're not paid promotions here. Okay, our objective is to train you guys to manage risk and to trade these stocks according to risk management, probability, and mathematical reasoning. Okay, this is why we trade these stocks. Okay, for the most part, okay, we try to kind of dove into fundamentals, but at the same time, we look more at technical aspects. So I want traders to kind of, for 2016, I want you guys to focus more on networking. Okay, another thing inside this chat room we're going to start speaking about is commissions. Okay, a couple of you guys referred some members, and now we've had a couple of members sign up over the last few weeks. If you happen to get a member to join for a year, okay, you're gonna get a commission of $49. Okay, that's a $50 that you can put into dividend paying stock, or $50 that you can put into silver or into a stock, okay, or your OTC or your trading, your brokerage account. So if you get somebody to join and we get the referral, okay, or you tell that person, or you mention a person and then they sign up, okay, I'm going to send you that payment via PayPal using your email. Okay, so this is an important aspect of leadership and teamwork. Okay, because what we want to do is we want to incorporate a good team and we want to find valuable traders. Okay, we want to find people with the urge to learn. We want people to come on with an open mind and at the same time, get the benefits that we're trying to put out there. Okay, so if somebody joins up for the year, you're gonna get $49.99. And another thing is, if they join for the month, after the third month, you're getting $24.99, which is $25. Okay, so you guys want to write that down? You guys can. Okay, so that's any person that kind of joins up. That's what we're gonna give. The next thing that I'm gonna move on is I put this Happy Holidays special deals. I don't do this often. I like doing it during the holidays, but I'm thinking that at some point we're gonna cap. And the reason I'm doing this is because I know that a lot of people feel that sometimes the information that's given isn't worth what it's given. Okay, most of the money that comes into the membership is usually for tools that we use, whether it's stock charts, whether it's some option tools that I use here. I'm thinking about doing the live chat and doing a couple of things that we pay for. The GoToMeeting has to get paid. A couple of other services that we paid. What we do is we take that money and we give you guys value. Okay, we opened up the mobile app, we redid our website. So we're trying to progress this as a viable company, and we're trying to give you guys more for the buck. Okay, so the beauty of this is that if you join for the year, okay, right now we're offering $349 for the year, and we're breaking that down for everything, whether it's small caps, options, the OTCs, the weekly watch list, the chat, the one-on-ones, the webinars, the PDFs. What we're going to start doing is, okay, this is pretty much going to be closed. The YouTube videos that I'm doing, I'm going to privatize them now. Okay, I'm going to do quick teasers for free members, but I'm not going to put out these videos. I'm only going to put it out for pay members. Another thing that I'm going to start doing is The buy zone charts, I'm not going to post those on Twitter anymore. Okay, what we're going to use that is basically for premium members and RSP premium Twitter and also the guys here. Okay, it's going to be totally different. The RSP premium Twitters, okay, they're going to be getting charged only $24, and then it's going to go up to $49 for a month, and they're only going to have Twitter. So we're going to do a couple of little differences. Okay, so these things in what it's going to do, it's going to help us kind of get that blood flowing into these stocks. Okay, so I want traders to kind of understand why we're doing this. Okay, so part of this is that we're going to give you guys something back. Okay, something that we're giving back is a free silver. Okay, Mr. Ray Borden signed up again. Okay, I think he locked on and grandfathered in to, I think was 129 or 149 a year. So he grandfathered in that price. Okay, now I'm doing it for 179.99. Okay, let's say you pick that 179.99. Okay, you're grandfathered in. So if this membership goes up to, let's say, $300 to $400, you're grandfathered in at 179 a year, and you're getting all services with any upgrades that we do. Okay, so that's very important. The moment you cancel, okay, that's it. Okay, what happens is you pretty much lose that benefit. Okay, and the reason we do this, it's like the military. We want to retain traders. We want to retain the best guys, the guys that are loyal, the guys that that are willing to do the work. Okay, so I want traders to kind of understand that concept and why we're doing this. Plus that, what we're going to do is we're going to send you out a T-shirt and also a silver coin, a silver buffaloes, a silver bullion, which is this coin here. Okay, I do expect silver to bounce at some point. You can start, buying silver on your own. It's a very nice piece as well. Okay, so if you do join for the year, you get the free shirt and you get the free coin. All right, so this is something that we kind of want to give back to our traders. For the monthlies, I know sometimes it's a little bit harder to kind of get that cash. We're going to lower the price from $50 to $25. Okay, that's 50% lower. We're not going to give you a silver coin, but we are going to give you pretty much everything that we give, whether it's the options, the small caps, everything. The one-on-ones, you want to give me a call, you want to text me, you're pretty much going to get a mentorship. Okay. I'm looking into potentially ordering a couple of other things. I don't want to give it all out. Okay. But I know PGM was mentioning a scanner that he uses. I believe that they charge maybe $100. Bulls was telling me about it too, $100 to $160 a month. If we do get people to sign up, then I'm gonna put that, and I'm gonna give that to you guys free. So I'll order it, and then what I'll do is I'll screenshot in the morning news that comes off that scanner. I'll even post the screenshot of the scanner up on the group me chat. So this is something that, if I start seeing, the effort, people joining and people bringing more value to the membership, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add value myself. So this is something I want to start getting. I want to get ahead of the curve. Okay, there's a lot of competitors out there. I honestly think that, we're not competing with the rest because we do something totally different. Okay, we have pretty much no bullshit, no hype a website. We have setups, we have educational things. We post out, what books we're reading, a couple of other things that other groups just don't have the time to do it. I tend to not sleep. I wake up early in the morning, I go to sleep at night really late. So this is the effort that I give to you guys. Okay. So I want traders to kind of understand where we're going with Radio Silent Play. This is more of a lifestyle for us. Okay, this is not just sending out bullshit information and hoping for you guys to buy. Another thing that I want to kind of reiterate is the group me chat. If you are going to post stocks, if you are going to post setups, okay, post the reasoning for your setups. Okay, I want to kind of limit the traffic. I know there's some guys in the military that are possibly in the website and on chat, and there's a saying, you know, you want to have radio silence on radios, and radio silence means that the only traffic that's going through is traffic that's important, okay, that's prudent to the task or the mission, okay. I want traders to start learning these setups. If you're gonna post something, I want to know why you're posting it, okay, because there's a lot of new people on the chat room, and I don't want them to get confused, okay. And it's not because I want you guys to just buy the stuff that I put out there, but I want people to understand, you know, risk management, and I want trades to all show why we're buying the stock and what are the levels, what are our stops, what are our pivots and level twos, and why we're purchasing the stock. If you know somebody's going to push it, I don't mind you posting, okay, that newsletter on there. I mean, I don't mind, but give us a reason why you're picking that stock, okay? Because if you're giving us a reason, then the information that you're posting, people are gonna you know, take it more serious, okay? So I want traders to kind of understand that. All right. So that's basically it. So if you guys want, okay, I'm going to be up. So if you guys do want to change this, or if you guys want to add, or you guys want to redo your memberships, what I'll do is I'll change whatever you're paying, because I know some guys are paying $249 for the year. I know some guys are paying $349, and I'm willing to adjust it. Now, January 2nd, 2015, January 2nd, 2015. Okay, no ifs, buts. I'm going to eliminate this. So I just want traders to kind of understand this. This page will go down during that time frame. So if you are paying $39 or $49 and you haven't sent me an email, okay, you're not going to get this price. So you have to let me know. But remember, if you do happen to change it to the $24.99 and you're paying, let's say, $39.99, and you end up quitting the $24.99, then what's going to happen is you're not going to get into that same price. Okay, we had a couple of guys that were paying $19.99 and they quit on us. When they come back, they're not coming back at $19.99. Okay, so I want traders to kind of understand that concept. And the reason we're doing this is for retention. Okay, any questions on anything that I've covered? Any questions with anything that I've covered, whether it's small caps, setups, whether it's OTCs, whether it's the sale, whether it's networking? You guys have any questions on anything that we've covered? Because if we don't, then I wish you guys a good night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow in the chat room. Okay, beautiful. So there's no more questions. Okay, my last thing is anybody who signed up for the year, okay, anybody who signed up for the year, just make sure you send me an email with your address, and anybody who's recently updated, or just send me an email, and then I'll send you that coin. So we want to make sure that it was within the last month. Okay, so within the last month of December, anybody who signed up, then you'll get that coin. Just make sure that you send me that email, okay, with your information. Okay, Penny Master says, great webinar. Thanks for doing it. Yeah, we're going to do these webinars pretty much every Sunday night. Okay, if something comes up or there's a holiday, we likely will not. But for the most part, 10:15 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have the webinar, and we're going to start posting. We're going to start talking. We're going to start mentioning things. And we want to make sure that people understand why we're trading these stocks and what's the reasoning behind the weekly watch list and the setup. So it's very important for you guys to show the effort and to come on. All right. So again, so if you have any questions regards to the memberships, commissions, just send me an email. You know, if you don't want your name out there, don't worry about it. It will be clearly between me and you, it'll be confidential. I'm not going to post on the chat room, hey, you got this guy or this guy. It doesn't matter how many people you get in. You get in 5 people, you're getting 50 times 5. That's $250. So this is something I want traders to kind of understand. This is all about making money and growing your account. So I think this will be a little bit of an add-on for you guys. Okay, so that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, just feel free to contact me on GroupMe. Have a good night, everyone. Take care, everyone.
Oh my God.